very rare that a Mexican ever looks good in shape. They just don't. They just.
Okay. All right, this is great. I love this. By the way, I do like Wes Watson. I've seen some of his videos in the past. He's a controversial subject. I like it. I'm glad he brought this up, okay? Because we get a lot of trolls, we get a lot of whatever you want to call them, right? Because we have unfavorable opinions. So this is just our POV on what Wes Watson.
Yeah, and I've been seeing this circulate on YouTube as well.
I'm glad that he's talking about it because, let's just be real, right? Mexican culture, we're always going to stick with Mexicans because we come from Mexican people.
Yes.
Right? First thing they talk about, they describe someone. La gorda, la flaca. The fat guy, the skinny guy. El gordito, el panzón, el nalgón.
Yeah.
Yes? Let's just keep it real. All right? Now people want to be sensitive and you can't talk like that, right? I like what he's saying.
I've seen that.
Prison-wise, though, when he's specifically talking about Northerners. Let's be real. All right? If you're not familiar with Northerners, we're from California. Everyone knows prison politics. Norteños, sureños, others. He's talking about the Norteños. All right, that's something I always wonder too, because back when I was growing up and knowing about this stuff, right? It was they had a routine, they had to look good, they had to look fit, right? Nowadays, I see guys and they're big guys. They're big guys, and I've been seeing this a lot lately, where a lot of these other guys who are involved in that lifestyle, I guess we would say rappers or whatever, talking about that, like look good, go to the gym. But I like that he said genetics, because genetics, believe it or not, plays a big part.
Yes.
And again, we're not men, right? But there was a time in my life, in our lives, where we were like gym rats. Remember, we'd run, we'd do all this stuff, we'd diet and eat well. Yeah. And although we were thinner and stuff, I would never, like, as much as I tried, it doesn't matter if I'd have to crash diet, literally.
Right.
And then I could be 100 pounds. Or 110 pounds.
And then everything looks a little weird.
And then everything looks weird, right? Or when you're dieting. So I like that he said that about the Mexican body. And people are going to take it however they're going to take it.
I've seen that people have been talking about that. It's actually becoming a race war. He's making it about race.
No.
I don't think it's about
that. Ignorant people who aren't educated, yes.
And he is talking about the fitness because he is a trainer or something. And he was talking about prison also.
Yes. So that's what we're talking about that, okay? So now let's go into that, Emily, what we're talking about. He said the Mexican body.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
About the
genetics as well.
Let's talk about that, about the guys. So he said, what did you say that he said something about the Mexican body, the guys? Doesn't matter.
He said, doesn't matter. They were like, they would eat spreads once in a while and they still looked like shit. And so he was just saying that genetics, like he's never seen a Mexican look good even when they were in shape. So that could mean that like they probably look kind of,
And what I'm going to add to that, because what I think by that is, like, again, we know many people who do, they boast about, they go to the gym and they're thin. Yes, they are thin, but they still eat junk. They still eat junk. I think that's what he means. Because,
yes, and he was talking about fasting.
And again, if you don't know about diet, if you've never had a struggle, or you've never, like, again, I've done this up and down. I've done it. It's just my genetics, right? I've had 6 kids, the body, hormones, things, whatever. As a woman, I don't know about the man. All I can say is that, yes, in my experience, you can be dieting, crash dieting, or whatever, and yes, you'll stay thin. But this looks really thin, and then you're like all big in here. Or what's
the arms will look noodly.
The arms will look super thin, but then you got the big belly, or
the big belly with the skinny legs.
Yes. So there's a lot of things, and again, people are going to take it however they want, right? They're going to take it however they want. But I like that he was saying that. I also like that, he's saying about the fasting, the spiritual fasting.
Yes.
A lot of people aren't ready for that or whatever.
No.
We talk about this on our channel and our different subjects and stuff because, we do believe in God. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't like to talk about that or whatever, but spiritual fasting is a real thing. And only those who know will do it. It's not hard. For example, like we do fasting, but we don't take out the protein as well. Like you said, I like that. You keep the protein, you ditch the carbs, you ditch everything else. Yeah. So that's our POV on that. And I do believe that, and people are going to take it however they want. But yeah, I have wondered that because I don't understand that. I always see men, again, I'm talking about Mexican men, right? And they're like, I go to the gym, and they're big, but they're still fat.
And he was talking about that they're
fat buff or fat. Yeah, they don't lean out. I like the leaned out. And again, right? I don't have the hot body or anything either like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not dissing the guys, but I'm saying it's true though. I think he's doing it more from yes, he was an ex-prisoner, but now he's doing it from like a trainer standpoint.
Yeah, also bodybuilding.
Oh, he's bodybuilding.
Well,
too?
Something like that. Okay. He does like the training and all that. So I know people are making it about race, and they're talking about he's disrespecting the raza. And however, I think he is targeting men mostly because they're talking about prison on that podcast. Yeah. So he's referring to men.
But I like what he was saying. I like what he was saying, and Yeah, I mean, what is this going to do? Nothing. It's just POV
Yeah.
for entertainment purposes. That's all. Strictly entertainment. So, like it, love it, hate it, give comments, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not good. Oh, but if you're private, we're going to block you. We're going to block you.
Yeah, the private ones because, again,
because you have so much to say and you're just a pussy.
Yeah,
So,
the
and I
private
like that he was like that. Remember, he'd always start off like that,
Yeah,
too.
he would say that.
So, we're going to stay with that. Have a good night.